Hello everyone, my name is Tara G. Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Annie Alonso's character, a paramedic, departed the show after season 8. After Gabby Dawson's, Monica Raymond, departure from Firehouse 51 to work as a first responder in Puerto Rico, at the end of season 6, Chicago Fire welcomed Millie Foster, Annie Alonso, to the cast. Foster was faced with enormous expectations, but she rose to the challenge and made an indelible impression on the team. Over time, she established herself as a skilled paramedic who could do demanding surgeries despite limited resources and high levels of stress. Those medical abilities were ultimately what led to her departure from Station 51. Foster's tenure on Chicago Fire is worth revisiting. Who on Chicago Fire portrayed Emily Foster? Annie Alonso, a veteran of shows including Empire and American Horror Story, played Emily Foster. Many of his co-stars from One Chicago, such as Miranda Ray Mayo, Stella Kidd, and Daniel Carey, Darren Ritter, remain close friends of his. Also, Daniel Carey has recently reunited with a much-missed Chicago Fire character. Particularly after Alonso's exit from the program in 2020, Carey and Alonso have continued to post images with one another on social media. What episode of Chicago Fire did Emily Foster make her debut in? Foster made his debut in the pilot episode of Season 7, titled A Closer Eye. The chief of Firehouse 51, played by Eamon Walker, presented her to the rest of the crew, who were reluctant to accept a paramedic after Dawson left the department. Sylvie Brett, Kara Kilmer, was ushered aside by Bowden, who urged her to stop resisting her new teammate. Bowden said to Brett, "You have dinged every new partner you've had, Sylvie, over the last few months. The paramedic you'll be seeing today, Emily Foster, will be stationed here. Until Dawson gets back," he told her ominously. Even though Brett was compelled to accept Foster, it took her some time to do so. At the Lakeshore Medical Center, where she and Brett made their first appearance, a doctor recognized Foster and said, "Is that Emily Foster? A paramedic, huh?" The decline of the once great is shocking. That was just one of the reasons why the group initially mistrusted Foster. However, they eventually came to welcome her as one of their own. The road to medical school. Emily Foster's expertise as a doctor was made abundantly obvious as the series progressed. One of the doctors at Chicago Med, Will Halstead, Nick Gelfus, praised her surgical skills in the field and told her, "You missed your calling." Foster revealed her unusual background to Brett in Season 7, Episode 2, Going to War, following a remark made by the Lakeshore doctor in her first episode that suggested her past might be different than the normal paramedics. "I was a surgical resident at Lakeshore until just last year," she revealed. "I got booted off my boards because of cheating." A job offer to return to the hospital setting was presented to her in Episode 9 of Season 7, Always a Catch. Foster was urged to rejoin the program by a senior physician who had previously protested to her dismissal. "More doctors should have your level of dedication." She instructed Foster to give it some thought, and then come see me in my office. Foster ultimately elected to remain a member of the Firehouse 51 family. "For the wrong reasons, I enrolled in medical school, where everyone looked out for number one," she told Bowden. "It was a knife fight, and I was holding the knife with the rest of them. But when I got here, everyone was like, 'It's a family at 51, he said. And then I realized, hold on a second. A caveat always exists. There wasn't anything, though." What led Emily Foster to decide to leave Chicago Fire? Foster appeared in the final Chicago Fire episode of Season 8, 51's original Belle. After giving Halstead's praise of her vocation some thought, Foster made the decision to leave her position as a paramedic and return to the operating room. Foster went up to Brett to tell her about leaving the firehouse. But Brett started ranting about how many of her friends and family are leaving Chicago, so Foster didn't bring up the subject. Dr. Halstead eventually let the cat out of the bag after they brought a patient to Med. "I heard from a friend at Northwestern's Office of Admissions that you reapply," he told Foster in front of Brett. It seems like you've already decided, Brett stated frustratedly. Foster presented an impassioned statement to the CFD Admissions Committee on how her time as a paramedic for the department had changed her for the better, and the show concluded with Brett waiting for her outside the CFD headquarters. Brett assured her that whoever hired her was in for a treat. The two individuals departed into the distance. Should we expect to see Emily Foster again on Chicago Fire or Chicago Med? Fans had assumed that, given her training in medicine, Foster would switch to the med team once she left the fire team. There are no concrete plans in place to have her return to either of the Chicago concerts at this time. Annie Alonze has been busy since leaving the show, with roles in the horror thriller Fear 2022, the Dermot Mulroney/Mel Gibson film Agent Game 2022, and the lead part in the made-for-TV drama Ruined 2023. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and stay with us.